Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Today I have here a client makeup on my friend Erandy, and this is how she looks after, and here how she looks before without any makeup. She does have a YouTube, so I will leave her @name in the description. Okay, to start off, I'm using the Hangover Primer by Too Faced, and as you guys can see, like I already did her eyebrows off camera just so I could save some time for the video. Then I use my Makeup Forever foundation, and I'm using a stippling brush and putting it all over her face. So after applying the foundation all over her face with the stippling brush, I'm using my beauty blender to blend everything out. And of course, you want to blend it down to the neck as well. So over here, I went in with the second layer. I only went in with the second layer on the spots where she actually needed extra coverage. So as you guys can see, she needed extra coverage right there on her chin and a little bit on her nose and a little bit on her cheeks. And then going over again with a beauty blender to blend everything out. Then I'm using my Graftobian palette, and I'm using that palette as concealer. It's actually a foundation brush. And I'm applying it all over her face where the high points are to highlight her face. And then I'm using a brush by Morphe, and I am blending out that concealer first, and then I go in with a beauty blender to blend everything out. Okay, so right here I'm just cream contouring her nose and then everywhere else of the face. So I'm contouring her cheekbones, I'm contouring her forehead, a little bit on her chin, and then on her jawline. And then I'm blending everything out with a little stippling brush just to blend it out a little bit more, and then I'm going to be blending it out with a beauty blender and a larger stippling brush. And then going back with my Graftobian palette, I'm using those orange shades as a bronzer cream contour, because the one before I used a very cool toned brown to use as contouring, and this one is just this orange shade is acting as a bronzer. So that's the larger stippling brush that I was talking about. I just blend everything out with that one, and then later on I blend it with a beauty blender. Okay, and then for the nose, I actually just used my beauty blender, and I didn't add any of the orange cream contouring shade right there, just the cool tone one because I didn't want it to seem very orange on the nose. So yeah, I'm just blending everything out with the beauty blender for the nose. Then to have a very pinched nose, I went back in with a little bit of concealer in the middle, and I just blended it out. And then I blend out the forehead a little bit more.
Your song. Just sitting around, but when the sun goes down, we ready to party. Ain't nothing like them summer nights.
Then to have everything locked in place, I'm using my Laura Mercier powder under her eyes, and then I also used it for her lids, the nose, and anywhere else that she was oily. And I'm also using my beauty blender to do this. And yeah, sorry about of the some of the clips are kind of blurry, and then sometimes I'm like right there in the way just because I have a big ass head. So sometimes like you're gonna see me right there with my big ass hoops. LOL. Okay, so since I had concealer on the eyelids, I'm just blending that out with the brush, and then I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier powder to set everything in place for the eyeshadows later on. Okay, so for the rest of the face, I'm using the Laura Mercier powder, and I'm going to be using a very big fluffy powder brush, and I'm going to be dusting this all over her face. Then using my Hoola bronzer, I'm going to be using that bronzer to bronze up the face where I cream contour. So right there on the cheeks, the temples, the forehead, and the jawline. And then for blush, I'm using the color Party from Tarte, the only freaking blush that I have. But yeah, I'm using that to just add a little bit color on her face. So moving on to the eyes, I'm using my Shade and Light eye palette from Kat Von D, and I'm using that orangey shade right there. And I'm going to be putting this all over my crease, a little bit higher than the crease, because it's going to be my transition shade. So yeah, I'm just using a big fluffy brush to blend this out. So I grabbed a smaller brush because I wanted to be a little bit more precise where I put the eyeshadow. And I got that same orange shade and I started putting it a little bit more on the crease so it could darken up the look a little bit more. Then I think with the same brush, I got that reddish brown color and I started to put this color right there on the outer crease and then I blended it in a little bit. So yeah, I'm just really focusing on that color and the outer crease. Then to blend everything out, I got a big fluffy brush and I got more of that orange shade and I started blending those two colors out. So right here on this clip, you see me adding more of that reddish brownish color into the outer V and I'm blending everything out. And I'm just using the same shades that I used and just to darken up the look. Okay, so right here I forgot to show you guys what brown I used, but basically it was the brown from the Shade and Light palette and I'm using that color and I'm really focusing this color on the outer V, a little bit lower than that reddish color. I still want that color to peek out, but yeah, I'm just putting that color right there in the outer crease and then blending it in a little bit. Okay, so I lost the clip where I showed you what I put on for the lid. So basically, it was the beige color from the Shade and Light palette, and I just put it all over the lid, and then I added some eyeliner just on top. I didn't wing it out, and then I added some lashes. Okay, so that's the finished look, you guys. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and peace out.